Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. Tonight, uh, he's back again, y'all. He's back again. This topic that we're gonna talk about, man. Y'all know me, I'm really into sports and um, especially the college and the pros. Y'all know how I am. I watch it religiously. So, but this topic we're gonna talk about, but I just want to give a huge welcome back to the podcast. My cousin Ron, what's going on?
Man, it's been a while. I am excited to be back. Let's dive in this thing.
Definitely, man. Before we get started, man, what you drinking on tonight?
I am drinking Willet bourbon. Look at the bottle. The bottle look like Thor's hammer, don't
Oh yeah,
it?
it sure do.
What
And
about you? What you drinking on?
I am drinking on Jack Daniels tonight.
We don't drink Jack anymore.
It's the only thing I had up in here,
We
so
don't we don't we don't drink
I
Jack
got.
anymore. Do we need that?
I,
I don't want to. That's gonna be another topic for another podcast. But we don't
well,
we
what
don't we
it's the
don't
only
drink
thing I
Jack
have.
anymore.
It's the only
Uh-uh.
thing I have in here.
Do
So
better.
I'm just
Do
yeah.
better.
Well, you know what I drink, but
Right.
I didn't get to the store and get some more, so
I
find what I
understand.
can. But
Yeah, we
I'm
gotta
just
let
drinking.
Jack. We gotta let Jack go. That's the topic
Yeah,
for another podcast.
yeah, and it's actually not the whiskey. It's more like those Jack Daniel's fruit punch drinks that you see.
Oh, yeah. We gotta let Jack go as a
Yeah,
whole community, but we'll talk about that later.
yeah, definitely. All right, y'all. So tonight, we're actually gonna talk about the NCAA. Um, Huge shout out to UConn's women's team and the Florida men's team for winning the national championships.
Don't
Um,
like Florida, but hey, shout out to them. They play hard. This is actually
yeah,
the best Florida team I've seen since what, like 96, 97, when they had Noah and that squad. Just shout out to them. I said,
yeah,
not a fan, disappointed in my falls, but hey, congratulations to the winner.
yeah. So, congratulations to both teams for winning the national championship. But obviously, during the course of the NCAA tournament, the big topic has been the transfer portal. Um, Especially during this tournament, I don't know if you guys have paid attention to it, but there's been guys who have enter the transfer portal while still playing in the NCAA tournament, which is mind blowing to me. The portal opened up back in March 24th, and since Wednesday, April 3rd, it has been a little over 1,700 players that have entered the portal. All right, um, the portal thing is nothing new. I mean, obviously, when you talk about transfer portals, it's more than just basketball and football. There's other sports as well. So you have a whole lot of athletes that do enter the portal. Just back in 2023 alone, more than 31,000 student athletes enter the transfer portal. So, but it seems like during this time, it seems like it's a heightened topic. A lot of coaches don't like it. Uh, Also, you factor in the NIL money that's coming in for these athletes and everything like that. Everybody has their opinion about all of it. But Ron, I just want to give you the floor, man, and just uh, tell me what you think about this, and do you think this is really a big deal or not?
I think it has literally changed the landscape of college sports, and a lot of people feel that way, and they look at it as a negative, but I honestly look at it as a positive. So let's look at it from this vantage point. I have a son who went to TSU, played football. He wanted to be a marine biologist. Now you can't. take labs while you're doing two a days. Of course, he was fortunate enough to where, between scholarships and grants and things of that nature, he was able to, go ahead and make it through. A lot of kids aren't that fortunate. So to me, NIL is a game changer on all aspects of it. Take that poor child. I don't want to say poor, but let's just say you have a child that doesn't have the money to go to college. And when you go to college, all they're paying for is room and board. They you might get lucky and they pay for your books. They might not. The way the college scholarship program works, and what a lot of people don't realize is that they take they take your Pell Grant. You have to apply for a Pell Grant every year. So they're taking your Pell Grant, taking your student loans, and then what's left is applied towards your tuition. So if you're a child struggling already, and if your family's struggling, how are they going to take care of you? And better yet, if you're the man of the house, how are you going to take care of them? So that's why NIL is so important. I mean, you're using my name, you're using my image, you're using my likeness, but you don't want to pay me for it. Do you know how much money college sports bring in? Especially football. Football for 90% of the schools brings in enough money for every other sport. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's take the
No,
SEC. Let's take the SEC for instance. Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Mississippi State, they make the same NCAA money as UT, Alabama, Auburn, because of the way the money is divided up in that pie. As far as television rights and things of that nature. So these schools are literally getting rich and richer off the backs of these players. And if you've got a school like Austin P, who plays a cupcake game for against Alabama, you already know Austin P is not going to beat Alabama. They don't have a snowball's chance in hell. But they get paid $1 million, and that $1 million doesn't go towards the football program; it goes towards the school. So I know it seems like I'm kind of shifting in a different direction right now, but it's still all relevant to NIL. So why not allow these these college kids to make some money?
yeah. I've always said for a long time, schools always profit off the players, especially, you have basketball and football, the two biggest money generating sports in schools. So, and they're not even seeing, they're not getting
Nothing,
anything,
nothing.
because they're using their name, they're using their image, their likeness. When you're talking about, especially when it comes to the TV rights deals as well, people don't talk about that. When they talk about they want to promote this game, that game, and talking about these matchups, that's what sports networks they do. They always want to get the uh those players that can actually sell those games in a sense, right? Those top players to
Right.
sell those games. Um, I'm really with you. I think that players should go out and make business decisions for themselves and their families. The school doesn't anyway, so why not just do it for yourself? Um,
Absolutely.
and wherever it is, I mean, I understand some schools are at a disadvantage when it comes to NIL because the smaller schools can't do what the bigger schools can. We get all of that, and now you start seeing the bigger schools start going to the smaller schools and start taking their top talent, you know, because they've seen them. Because we're in the shift now too, part of that transfer portal is that you have coaches that are recruiting other players at other schools to come play for them because they seen them. They like, hey, you could play here with us. And now you have these smaller schools. They got to keep up the same old tradition of recruiting high school or junior college athletes um, to come to the program, and see what they could do with that. But a lot of players. Actually, it was a guy who won a national championship for Florida. He played at the mid major,
Right.
and he ended up going to Florida, winning the national championship. A lot of these guys who could be, say, a 4 or 5 star recruit didn't get that. Probably didn't have the advantage of being in a major market or whatever. They just nobody knew who they were, anything like that. But they go to these schools and these coaches see them play. Again, to your point, a smaller school going to a bigger school to play a football game, knowing they're not going to beat them, but we know it's a money game for the smaller school. But
Exactly.
yet, these players who are playing their hearts out, these coaches are looking at some of these players like they could actually play for us. And you don't think they're not, you know, scouting them out too? I
Well,
mean,
they've been doing that. Look at Sean Marion. Sean Marion went to a junior college for a couple of years, then got on a UNLV, and then went number 9 in the draft. So this type of thing has been happening. It's just now it's more prevalent because there's more money involved.
yeah. And even if we shifted to like take women's college basketball, women like now they're foregoing to the WNBA just for 1 year, staying in college, transferring to another school. Why? Because they could, maximize their earning potential in college more so in the WNBA. Like that one player from Notre Dame. Man, I just had it in my brain. I forgot it, but she was projected to go number 2 in the WNBA,
Mm-hmm.
and now she just announced she's actually transferring to TCU. So
Well, when you think about it, what's the purpose of going to college? The average person goes to college so they can get an education, so they can have a better life for themselves.
yeah,
So if you can get it now, why not? Why not get it now?
and I'm with you. I mean, if I know that, if it really it is a 2 for 1 because you will get that education and you'll get paid at the same time.
But
S-
then again, let's going back to the education piece. Getting you're not getting a top notch unless you go to Vanderbilt or a school like that. Vanderbilt doesn't have smaller level degrees. Like you can't go to Vanderbilt and get a just a plain. Uh, you can't graduate as a business major.
right.
So it's hard for these kids to attend practice. Think about it. We just watched the NCAA championship. So these kids are if your team is lucky enough to make the big dance, people don't factor in the travel time and the fact that they're missing classes.
Yeah.
So it's hard for these kids to get a degree that's going to allow them to go pro in some other field because they have a commitment to their team. And
Yeah.
that's the unseen part that people don't talk about. Like I said, my son wants to be a marine biologist, but you can't take labs and you run in 2 days. And think about all these other students who, especially football. My son played football, and we had 5 or 6 of his teammates stand with us over the summer because you got a coach that wants you to be there for the summer, but school is closed. School is closed. You don't have any. You're not getting any grant money. You don't have a place to stay. So what are you supposed to do? So that's why the deal is so important. It's more. It's really making a difference to me in the lives of some of these student athletes.
When it comes to the transfer portal, we have seen players that after 1 year they hop into another school, and then after that 1 year they hop into another school. Do you think these players, when they make that decision, I'm not saying the first time they commit to a school, I get if that's not a fit for you, whether it's culturally or if you feel like you're not getting the playing time that you deserve, you go to another school. But do you think after they transfer that first time, maybe they should stay for at least 2 years?
For
And
what?
well, my thing is this too, right? You transfer after your first year, you transfer after your second year. Now you're going to your third year in three schools. I mean, in 3 years. Like I'm in some I'm kind of confused about that. W- I mean, I get it after your freshman year, you transfer, but even then, it's kind of like, what are you looking for? Is somebody offering
So,
you more money to come play for them, or is it the
so are you looking at it from a loyalty perspective? Because at the end of the day, sports is a business,
well,
and sometimes you just have to. It's like a job if you think about it. How many people do we know
mm,
that work three different jobs in 3 years?
yeah, but also at the same time, I'm also looking at like, what are you actually looking for if you jumping from school to school to school? I mean, is it about the education? Is it about playing time? Is it? I don't listen. If you want to leave, you want to leave. But what is the end goal and all of it? We just saw what's her name? Was it Van Lith? Lee? I can't even say her name, last name. But she
Mm-hmm.
was at Louisville her first year. Then she went to LSU, and then she went to TCU. Right now, she took all three schools deep into the NCAA tournament. So super talented. I've seen her high school mixtape, which was actually pretty phenomenal when she was still in high school. But going to three schools, 3 years, it's kind of like what is it? And I've heard Carmelo Anthony saying, "Hey, maybe these um, schools probably need to start offering contracts, like 2 year contracts."
They're
What do you
not
think
going to
about?
do that. They're not going to do that. They can't do that. You can't. I mean,
I mean, you say it's a
it,
business too, so
it is a business. That's why you can do that. But what student, if you know that you're going to put the work in, if you know you have the goods and the opportunity, a better opportunity is going to come your way, why would I sign a 2 year contract? Let's just say for basketball, for instance,
uh
I already got to play a year school just so I could go to the NBA. Why would I sign a 2 year contract when I know that if I stay healthy and I work, I'm in the draft?
yeah,
What's the purpose of that? And I understand where Carmelo's coming from. I think Carmelo, people expect, we as people expect a certain level of loyalty from athletes,
mm,
and from fans as well. I got people mad at me right now because I used to be a Dallas fan. I haven't been a Dallas fan in 20 years because when Jimmy Johnson left, I left. But again, that's another story. Uh, People expect a different level of loyalty that they don't even give themselves. Like, how can you? Why did LeBron jump from team to team? Because LeBron wanted the championship. He knew he wasn't going to get a championship in Cleveland with the way they were going. Again, it's just like a job. If you're on a job and there's a pinnacle you want to reach and you know you can't reach it with that job, what are you going to do? you're gonna switch jobs.
Right.
Same difference.
And and when it comes to LeBron, people got to realize he already finished out his contract. So technically, he don't even have a team. So when he goes from team to team, he already fulfilled his contractual obligations to that
Right.
team. So he's a free agent. And it's almost like the same thing in college. You know, school year is over with. If you haven't enrolled in class, it's like they not making you stay. I mean, you can leave if you want to at the end of the year, because scholarships are only good, what, for a year, technically?
Yeah.
So they have to renew your scholarship, and not every player get their scholarships
And I was
renewed.
just about to say that again, just like a job, if you go to a school and you're not performing up to par, if you're not living up to their expectations, they're gonna pull your scholarship. So what's the difference?
Exactly. And I'm not mad at players, if they want even if they want to go down to like the mid major, we seen players, go to the major schools and like, man, you know what? I'm not getting the playing time. I'm out here busting my butt. What am I doing here? The coach ain't even giving me a chance. If they want to go to a smaller school and get that playing time and all of that stuff, why be mad at that? I mean,
Right.
is their choice on a lot of these guys just want to play. We know not every college player is gonna have the NIL deals and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We know the top players in say coming out of high school, basketball, football, they already got that stuff situated.
They already got it sold up.
Like that one player going to BYU basketball. I mean, we all know why he committed to BYU. They got money out there. So it was a business decision. Even though he's going to be one and done, I think we all can predict that one and done. The top players, basketball, of course, they only go to college for a year, one and done. But not every player is going to be able to have that luxury to be a top five, top 10 pick. So what they do on the
Exactly.
college level is try to maximize their earning potential because they probably won't even make it to the league. Or if they get to the league, they might not last no more than maybe 4 years.
Right.
So same thing with football. Alabama, we all know when it came under Nick Saban, 4 or 5 star recruits every year, right? One of the best recruiting classes, not the best recruiting class in college football. But
For
guess
sure.
what? Every class they have 4 5 star recruits. So when the next class come in, it's almost like, well, you got to wait your turn. And then when they get there, they're like, man, I'm not ever going to see the field. Guess what happens? They leave. They leave. They go play somewhere else. They thrive in that at that school or that system, wherever it is. It happens. Transfer portals has been happening way before NIL came into play.
Way before. I agree.
And it's to me, just give the players, they have the power now. They have the power. We know the NCAA was pretty much taking advantage of student athletes for far too long. Especially, I know if you remember the NCAA video games, right?
Oh yeah.
We all know when we play those games, you select your team, whatever. You know who you playing as. If
Right.
y'all don't remember, they don't put the names on in the games and on the college games.
Right.
So but you know who you playing as because they're using their likeness in the game and everybody know who that is.
Right. Back in the day, if you were playing with Texas, you knew Vince Young was your quarterback. His name wasn't on the jersey, but the way he played, yeah, that was Vince Young. So yeah, this has been happening for quite some time, and it's high time that these college athletes got what they deserve.
And not only that, but let's just be honest, college players have been paid for I don't I mean before I was born and I just turned 37 a couple weeks ago. So it now it's out there. Now college coaches like, we don't know what to do. You got boosters. They've been paying these players before this whole thing became legal. So why not
Under
just
the
continue to add
table.
to that? You got it. Yeah, you got the
I
advantage. I mean, look at was it you couldn't even before all of this, you couldn't accept gifts of any kind, right? The
Right.
NCAA, like, oh, they gave you money to go to the movies. Oh, now you're ineligible.
Right.
Like what?
Because they were trying to they were trying to keep all this NIL from happening. That's exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't stop it.
Can you stop it? Because listen, all this stuff been going on, recruiting violations that's been happening. Now everything is like, I mean, players are they're making wise choices now. I'm not gonna say they just, you know, picking a school because they offer more money. There's probably other things they look at too when it comes to a program that they're going to. Um, but I mean, you see it now. I mean, you got players. I don't know if you remember the Utah football team. I forgot what game. I think it was a big game. It's one of those bowl games, if I'm not mistaken. Where I think the whole team got new trucks, and it's kind of like, yo, they're doing it. And back then, um, Reggie Bush, we seen how he was scolded for what parents getting a home.
Right.
You you know what I mean? And they won. I don't know if they gave him his Heisman Trophy back. Did they give him his Heisman
They
back?
did. They did. He finally got his Heisman back,
So they
and
finally got,
which he
yeah,
deserved that.
exactly. I mean, he was the most dynamic player in college football. And you mean to tell me he couldn't capitalize off of, you know, his greatness in college at USC? But that's just me. I just feel like by the end of the day, these players have the power now. Now I don't know if coaches gonna come together or they're gonna put together a special council to try to somehow regulate the transfer aspect of it. I don't know. I know a lot of coaches ain't happy with it. But let me ask you this: do you think, in terms of players entering the transfer portal, I get football wise. I mean, the season is over. You probably playing in a meaningless bowl game whatsoever. You want to enter the transfer portal. I get it. But when it comes to basketball players, do you think that once the basketball season is over, as soon as the national championship game is over, should they open the portal like a little bit later, say around what's today? Today's what? April 8th. So like do it like April 8th, April 9th or something till that season's over for them to announce
Why
they're
would you
going.
do that? When is Black Monday in pro football?
Uh,
You a Steelers fan, you haven't had to
uh
go through Black Monday
well, yeah, that's true.
because y'all got Tomlin.
Yeah, we
But when is Black Monday?
shoot, Black Monday. See, that's the problem. I'm a
Black Monday is that Monday as soon as the
soon as the
season is
search over.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah, Black Monday. That's when coaches get fired. So why wait? Why wait?
yeah.
If you're a college student, why wait? They're college
Uh,
students and their kids, but some of these college students are grown ass men.
uh,
Look at Beck for Georgia. Beck been playing for about 6, 7 years and just transferred again.
again?
So yeah, I feel like he's going to Miami. I could be wrong, but I mean, some of these college students, especially with COVID, they were given another year of eligibility. So some
Yeah.
of these, once you hit 21, 22, 23, so you're a grown man. You're an adult. You're not as probably not as mature as a 28, 29, 30 year old, but you're an adult.
So what can a smaller school do? Excuse me. What can a smaller school? I mean, we know they can't compete with the big schools, but what can they offer, these players to just come to the school?
What kind of smaller company offer a top recruit to come work for them?
Well, the-
It's still a business. I used to
yeah.
be I used to be the corporate office and catering manager for Slim and Huskies.
Mm,
If Pizza Hut had knocked on my door, and Slimmer Huskies offer me, no disrespect to Slimmer Huskies, shout out to Slimmer Huskies, still love you guys. But what can Slimmer Huskies offer me that gonna match what Pizza Hut's gonna offer me? Pizza Hut's a $1 billion industry.
oh yeah.
It's it's still a business at the end of the day. We got to stop looking
Mm.
at it from a personal loyalty, what we want, what we think is best. We got to stop looking at it from that perspective. We got to look at it from a business perspective. And then another thing about this NIL money, this NIL affects, we're starting to see it affect more than just college athletes. Think about Peggy. You know what Peggy is, don't you?
Mm.
You know what Peggy is? You heard of
You
Miss
said
Peggy? Miss
Miss,
Peggy.
yeah,
Yeah, so she got an NIL deal.
that
She got her first NIL deal with Dion, where they put her name on the sunglasses, and so for every pair of sunglasses that was sold with her name on it, she got $1. Don't sound like much, but do you know how many pairs of sunglasses Dion has sold?
yeah.
So that's a couple of $1 million in her pocket. And now she has her own line. I'm looking at it right now on my iPad. She's got her own line called Peggy 100. CU Athletics unveils new Peggy 100 apparel line to honor superfan Peggy Cobham. So this
Mm.
NIL money is transcending beyond athletes that are on the field or on the court or on the baseball diamond. I can't think of that young man's name, but
A
he's the
manager,
manager. Yeah, the manager. He just
American.
got
Yeah,
he just got NIL deals out the ass, and all he did is put on a yellow jumpsuit and walk out with a boom box.
uh,
Make it make sense. But that just goes to show the power of money.
yeah.
So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, I mean, as an athlete, um, I'm happy for athletes for getting their money. I know the schools, they're not happy about it. Oh well. I mean, you knew this was coming for a long time. And I mean, what can you do now? I mean, they have the power. I mean,
It's just
if you get them for one season and you win a championship off that one season, I mean, you're gonna one thing about college sports, you always recruiting players.
always.
So that's not stopping. That's never gonna stop.
You
Even
got
if
to
you
step
got them, even if you
got
got
to
them
step
for
your
one
game up.
year, if you got them one year, just like when I mean Calipari was really running college basketball with the one and dones, right? Everybody was like, "How can we keep up?" He getting these top recruits, and I mean, come on, they were one of the best teams out there, even though he only got that one championship. But
Yeah.
still, he did what he was supposed to do, right? Everybody had to, keep up with him. Now you gotta every year, coach is always recruiting. That never changes. Now
Yeah.
money's involved. Now players are saying like, hey, you know, who's it? The schools are not paying. It's really who the boosters and things like that paying the players.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. So
I
now
mean,
you gotta
boosters,
you gotta have those
you
business
you
relationships,
got to
like you
step you
said.
got to step your game up. I mean, when you got somebody like Phil Knight
At
telling
Oregon,
Oregon players, "Hey, I got some unlimited NIL for you.
yeah,
Limited NIL. Get it. You got
yeah,
to step your game up. You got to figure something out. If you somebody like I don't want to say Alabama because Alabama. Let's just say somebody like let me think of some mid-level school.
you could just say like Butler or somebody like that.
Yeah, Baylor. We're gonna say
Baylor,
Baylor.
Baylor, yeah,
Baylor. Yeah. Baylor just got to figure out a way to step your game up. You want to run with the big boys.
Yeah,
Got to do big boy shit.
exactly. And you're seeing college athletes now endorsement deals. See Juju Watkins endorsement deals. Um, so they get into it. I mean, I could be. I'm just so happy for the players right now. I
I
mean,
am too. I am too. I'm very happy for them.
I get it. You got some of these schools out there. They trying to figure out how to keep these kids longer. Guess what? You have the advantage because you already got them. So what can you do to entice them to stay even longer? What is it? Because again, I mean, if you're great, what makes a college coach great is not what they do on the field or on the court, X's and O's, or all that stuff. Is recruiting.
Yeah,
If you can recruit, you could keep a job for a very long time. And we've seen coaches 20, 30 years, so even 40 years at schools because they know how to recruit, you
that's
know.
it.
And now, if anything, recruiting should be a little bit easier for you because now you can play with money. You ain't gotta, hide it from anybody or anything like that. It's right there to play with. And again, coaches, they're businessmen too. They'll leave a job for another job, if it's more money, or if it's like their time has ran its course, they're gonna get another job, whether it's college level or the pro level. But everybody will leave for more money.
It's just a business. That's all it is. It's a business.
So I just think that you know let these players do what they do. Um, they own scholarship for that year. You know, they have a choice if they want to leave, they can leave. That's just that's just how I feel. I mean, I don't really, I don't know. I don't know. I get it. Coaches are frustrated because now they got to work harder. Which I mean, you were working harder back then too.
Right. You have to work hard anyway. So what's the problem? This is what you signed up for.
Yeah. So are you upset that these players are able to make decisions on their own business decisions? And they talking to people, so I don't know what you're upset about. You don't think they ain't getting phone calls all through the season?
Of course.
So how you going? You should know. You should know because you're doing the same thing that everybody else is doing, or should be doing.
Exactly. So how can a coach get frustrated at a player? Again, back to that loyalty aspect. It's like you're expecting a level of loyalty that you're not willing to give yourself.
Yeah,
And even if you are willing to give that loyalty of yourself, everybody doesn't think like you. Everybody doesn't feel like you.
yeah. Everybody's situation is different.
Right.
Um, Again, like you said, when it comes to the education aspect of it and these degrees, I mean, listen, Vanderbilt, we know how hard it is to get into that school. You look at Harvard, you look at, a lot of these Ivy League schools, top-notch schools, how hard it is to get into these schools. Um, so again, if they could, go out there and make money on the platform, they're giving them the biggest exposure. I mean, let them go and do
Go
it.
out go out there and get it. Leave them alone. Let them go out there and get it. And maybe, just maybe, if you stop complaining and use the system to your advantage, then maybe they'll stay longer. Like if I'm a college student and I'm making seven figures in NIL, but I play for Villanova, I might be willing to stick around a little longer for Villanova because I know chances of me going pro are not as great as somebody else's. But I can stay here. Excuse me. I can stay here and I can keep making this money. So, excuse me, coaches should use that to their advantage.
Yeah,
Instead of trying to buck the system, find a way to utilize it as a tool.
yeah. I mean, I think eventually, I think you see it like the older coaches versus the younger coaches. The younger coaches usually, they come in, they have already embraced, the landscape of the sport anyways, and then you see older coaches, they're still in their excuse me, in their ways and stuff like, I don't like this Jack Daniels. This is terrible.
I
I'm sorry.
told you. I told you. That's what you get. Go
I
pour
I
that
don't
shit
like
out.
I don't
Told
like it.
you. We don't drink Jack Daniels
I don't
anymore.
like that Jack.
Let me
I don't
know
like
when you
that.
get. Let me know when you get ready to have when you get ready to bring that up as topic. I'll come back on that one because we
I
don't.
I
We
don't
don't.
I don't
No.
like that. It was
No.
it was
No.
I don't like that. That is I'm taking a sip of it and I'm like, uh nah, this ain't it. I don't know why they went to like those flavor drinks anyway.
Because
That's
that's what. That's
I mean,
what. It's money there. I mean,
yeah,
you got Crown Royal did the same thing. Crown and Cola or
they had the lemonade.
Crown and Sour. Yeah, all of that. That's just you have to appeal to a. If you expand your horizons, then you're giving yourself an opportunity to make more money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So, so it's people out there that love that. What you got? The Spike lemonade, the Lynchburg lemonade. What you got?
nah, I told it was something in a can. It was like the fruit punch. Like you go to the store, I was like, oh, whatever. Cause I was like, I still got my crown, my vanilla and everything like that. But I'm like, man, let me just try this. I've seen it. I'm like, let me just try it. I don't like it. It's
It left the
it's
shit right
terrible.
where you
It's
found
kind it's kind of like it's kind of like when I tried that crown blackberry and I didn't really care for that either.
it.
I only had a shot of it. I took a shot for my birthday. And I was like, yep, I'm glad I did not buy the bottle whatsoever. I just shot, didn't like it. I'm gonna stick to what I like.
not
Um,
to not to get off topic too much. There's gonna be another conversation for another time. But we had to get you off that crown because that's Canadian whiskey. So what are
yeah, I
you gonna
know.
do when them tariffs kick in? let
So I
me
don't
get you.
know.
Let me get you on this bourbon I'm on.
Listen, I went to a store, it was about what, last week or a couple weeks ago. I seen Crown like in bulk, like at these stores and everything. Like I've never seen Crown in stock like that here. So they got it. No, I'll give me another bottle, but also when I go back, I gotta give me some Uncle Nearest as well. Give me some of that. It's just sometimes every time I go in, they ain't got it.
It all depends on which one you go to and which one which entrepreneurs you're looking for.
Yeah. So
Yeah, if
that's
you
what I'm looking for.
have you had that nearest green yet?
Uh-uh.
The nearest green is actually probably one of the closest higher end items that you're going to get towards get along the lines of Jack Daniels as you can get. It's the one in the green bottle, and they're not much. Next time I go out, if I find it's like $30 a bottle.
Okay.
Next time I go to my spot, if they got some, I'll grab you a bottle. But it's a good pour.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
If you
definitely.
like, if you like Jack, well, you acting like you like Jack, but you'll like this. It's a great pour.
No, actually this is my first time ever drinking anything Jack. So
Really,
yeah. I never everything I had what's the first thing I ever had was ENJ. I had that VSOP. I had what's that Kentucky bourbon?
Which one?
I'm trying to think. This was
At one point,
long.
all bourbon was made in Kentucky. So which
I'm
one?
I'm trying to remember. It's been this. I was like 23 at the time, so I just can't remember. But pretty much, I've just been on Crown for forever, pretty much, and now trying. I want to get into trying new things and see what else is out there, if it's available here. So
Yeah,
that's the thing too. A lot of stuff is not available in all markets. So if there's something that I could get here and try here, then that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I'm still gonna stick with the Crown, but also taste other things and see what else, I might like.
yeah.
So
Expand your horizons. Try something different. You never know. I got a
yeah.
homeboy. We're both. He and I are both bourbon drinkers, but now he's on rum because we got another homeboy that likes rum, not like Bacardi, but like Ron Zapaka or something like that. So I mean, yeah,
Okay.
expand your horizons. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm gonna do, man. So if y'all have any suggestions, man, please leave it in the comments or y'all can message me. I'm always looking out for new stuff. So me and my boy James could, get back to doing our reviews and things like that. Not gonna recommend this though. I don't like it.
Yeah,
So
get him off that crown, everybody. Jump in the comments and tell me wrong for drinking that crown. I mean that Jack.
yeah, I wasn't a fan first. I'm like, well, I just again, I'm not gonna buy a bottle or something. I'll just get something at $3, whatever. It's not gonna hurt me at all. And I tried this. I'm like,
This ain't it.
that's a this ain't it. If anything, I don't know if they still sell it, but Sonic had this. I did a review on it. Sonic did this hard sweet iced tea. They had something like that. Really
Oh,
good.
like the mics and the what is the name of that I can't think of it. It's in a yellow can. But I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, see, there's a market for that.
Yeah.
There's a market for that. There's a market for what you're drinking. It's just not for you.
Yeah. It's just not for me. So, but hey, I'm not gonna disrespect anybody. Y'all like this stuff that's on you guys. It's just not my taste buds is not for it. So, but yeah, again, man, college athletes, man, do what's best for you, do what's best for your family. Uh, you know, uh maximize your earning potential while you can, because not everybody's gonna go pro. Uh, well, I'm not gonna say that everybody's not gonna make it to the NFL. Everybody's not gonna make it to the NBA. Not everybody's gonna make it to Major League Baseball and stuff like that. You're talking about the highest level of these sports, NHL and everything. So if you can, do what's best for you, maximize your potential in those 4 or 5 years, and then see what else is after that. I mean, you'll get a degree with that. Maybe you could go out there and use it, depending on what you get your degree in. But who knows? You know what I mean? Just do what's best for you at the time, so, because everybody's not going to be fortunate to make it to the league.
That's real.
I mean, you got G League players that's trying to get there and they could play, but again,
Look at Matt. Yeah, look at Matt McClung. Matt, the one of the dunk contest 3 years straight,
yeah,
and still a G League player.
yep. So, it's again, do you. The school's going to do what they do. You got to do what you got to
You
do.
need to yeah make the best business decision for yourself, and that's that on that.
'Cause you got to remember, when you first get recruited out of high school, they coming to you. You're not going to them.
That's it.
So, this is your first business decision, you know, not only just with the sport that you're playing, but also if education is your priority, go to a school that you can fit in, that, culturally or something, a program, like you said, depending on the major, does it work for you and everything like that. So
Make it count.
make it count. All right, y'all, man. Thanks for tuning in with us tonight. This was fun. Um,
For sure.
Again, shout out to UConn. And you know what? I missed that game. I wanted to watch that game,
You
but I
ain't
knew
missing. You
I know
ain't
I
missing
didn't miss
nothing.
nothing.
The most exciting part of the game was Don selling that $7,000 Louis Vuitton suit. That was the most. That was the most exciting part of the game, and I am happy for Paige. I'm happy for Paige Beckers because to me, she is a better player than Caitlin Clark,
Oh yeah,
and she just got hurt last year. So I'm happy she got a ring. I was rooting for Don at the end of the day because Dawn is my girl. Her swag is completely different. But I am happy that Paige got her one. I really am.
yeah, yeah. And
And,
actually, matter of fact, I didn't even know the game was coming on Sunday. That was the thing about it.
mhm.
So
They
I was
play
like,
they played lights out. I think at one time South Carolina got within single digits, and at that from that point on,
yeah,
blowout.
I would. If it was my choice, I know we're about to get off of here. If it was my choice, I would definitely like to see Paige and Juju go at it. If Juju
Oh
didn't get
yeah,
hurt,
for sure. I hate that Juju got hurt. Juju
yeah.
got hurt twice. She got hurt on the court and off the court by
Oh,
Jane Daniels' mama.
mama. Oh man, that's
No,
funny, man.
another topic. Another topic for another podcast.
I actually talked about that on a previous episode.
Did you?
Yeah, I was like, this ain't no ordinary woman coming to talking to your son. That's
It's
Juju.
not. This ain't no gold digger. She's already got. She got the bag. She's doing something for herself. Like, and you gonna stand. That's not an overprotective mom. That's I ain't gonna say what I told. I'm not gonna get into the locker room talk, but that was uncalled for to me.
That that's
That
a
was utterly uncalled for, and I was embarrassed for him.
I was too because I'm thinking like this is the type of woman you want your son to bring home to you.
Exactly, exactly. That is exactly, and then you go come sitting in between them
Yeah,
and
and you
betwixt the
pointing at the
two for
camera
what?
and you pointing at
Yeah,
the camera like you knew the camera was right there spotting them the whole
yeah.
time. I'm
What was your point? If anything, you
like
should have encouraged that.
exactly.
You bring home the wrong one, and you have a problem with it.
Uh-huh. But hey, that again, like you said, that's a whole different topic.
That's a whole another podcast all by
Yeah,
itself.
a whole nother podcast. But thanks for tuning in with us tonight. Thanks, Ron, for coming back on, man. This was fun. Uh,
Hey, thank you for
you
having me.
know, also too, man, thoughts and prayers to everybody who was affected by the tornadoes and the floods.
Absolutely,
So, you know, uh praying for you guys. I know a couple of cities have been affected, got hit by the tornado, not only in Tennessee, but yeah, Missouri as well, and other states and the flooding, in parts of the South and things like that. So we're thinking about you guys. We're thinking about you
absolutely.
guys and stuff. So, but Ron, you have any last words?
No, again, thank you for having me. It's been a while since I've been on. I'm going to try to get on more often and keep this thing rolling.
For sure, man. And y'all tune in to Drinking After Dark podcast on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, I'm Darius. We out. Peace.